Hey guys, I'm just wanna ask the question, right? Are keto strips actually necessary when you're on the ketogenic diet? Well, the answer is actually depends, right? Now, basically, keto strips or keto sticks or whatever you want to call them, right? They're used to detect ketones, like using urine or using your blood, right? But the strips as well, obviously, they're the ones for the urine. These are the very basic ones. Like, do you really need them? Well, if you're in ketosis, your body will excrete a measurable amount of ketones. This is a fairly good indicator of whether or not you're recently in ketosis. I say recently because you have literally just eaten a piece of chocolate cake and then you go test to see if you've got knocked out of ketosis. It might not register for a while. There are basically two types of keto strips, right? There's the one that you actually pee on, right? And then there's the one which they use for diabetes testing to check your blood sugar levels, right? Which is a different type of strip because they just check your blood, right? But actually, the problem is that blood meters are very, very expensive, right? So most people just go with the cheapest possible obvious option, right? Which is the keto strips, which is very, very cheap and you can get it at your local supermarket, right? Now, okay, obviously not your supermarket, obviously I'm joking, guys, right? But they are freely available almost just about anyway, right? Okay, anyway, moving on. Maybe this is one of a kind, right? If you're just starting like on the ketogenic diets, right? Odds are you really don't know what ketosis actually feels like. So I do actually recommend when you're starting out to actually get keto strips, right? At least for the first month or so, right? Just to get yourself acquainted with knowing how ketosis actually feels like. Once you actually start get yourself going, you don't actually need them at all, right? Now in the beginning, right, there are other determining factors to know whether you're in ketosis or not. Probably be a good idea just to jot down, right? How do you feel? What are the side effects that you're actually noticing, right? uh, Remember, you'll be able to actually tell without an external test. Let me give an example, right? uh, One of the tests I use, right, if I'm not getting in enough magnesium, I immediately know when I'm sleeping. I will get myself into crazy muscle spasms, right? Because I need a certain amount of magnesium, especially when you're starting to get yourself on keto, right? Now, anyway, moving on, how often should I test, right? We all love data, right? I know so many people who weigh themselves multiple times daily, checking for minor fluctuations, right? Now, similarly, new keto guys, right? They overdo this keto sticks, keto strips, right? Now, there's no need to actually test after every few hours or after every meal or every time you hear the word banana, right? Unless you're specifically trying to check patterns throughout the day of certain foods that you actually eat, right? Or how much actually ketones you excrete at certain times of the day, right? That's when you actually can test as often as you want, right? But pick a time, right, when you can test consistently throughout the week, right? It doesn't have to be perfect, right? It just have to be a time that's actually just consistent. So if you pick like, okay, every day 6 p.m. when I get home from work, I just want to test how much ketones I actually have in my system. Do that, test it, and then track your results, right? Now, it's also important to keep a food diary, right? That's where you'll just be able to keep your match up your ketone data, right, and your food that you're actually eating. Because the real importance of this, right, is that you want to really actually see, okay, how certain food types, food combinations over a period of a week, over a period of a day, right, how they affect your ketone levels. And this is how you actually get to a point where you won't actually need keto strips, right? Now, why do you need all the data, right? It's important, right? You need patterns, right? We're actually very unique and different, right? From different backgrounds, we grew up in different ways. Our health is very different, so you can find certain types of foods affect you more differently than it would somebody else. So somebody can actually say, right, uh, bacon, for example, it's a very good food for like most people in keto, like on keto, love bacon. you can actually find there's actually a percentage of the like people that actually that get negatively affected by uh, eating bacon. So it will actually be good just to try and see and test how it will affect your body. So anyway, guys, there are plenty of other ways. If you're not gonna, if they're not really necessary, if you really wanna know if you're in ketosis or not, right? There are very plenty of ways to check without keto strips, right? If you wanna go that route, in order to have a really good idea, you're gonna wanna pay close your attention to your body and the signals your body is actually sending, because we're all unique. Right, so your body might feel a little bit slightly different than somebody else who's in ketosis, right? But there are some signs that are fairly universal. So anyway, guys, that's it, right? You don't really need keto strips, but they will actually help you a lot when you're just starting out on the keto diet, right? Anyway, guys, cheers.